Meet Savorista. They have premium craft decaf and half-calf coffee with bold, rich flavor. Made from high-altitude, hand-picked Arabica beans and naturally decaffeinated with water or sugarcane processes, and there's no harsh chemicals.
But if you think chocolate, caramel, citrus, even bourbon pecan and mint and mocha, it's small batch roasted, literally so good, customers call it the best decaf they've ever tried.
Better sleep, less anxiety, all the flavor. Use our code INFOGO to get 25% off at checkout at savorista.com. You can also find that link in the show notes. Hey, William, do you love craft beer?
Yes, I do. We
If you're
can,
looking for the perfect gift for a beer lover or just want to show off your brewery pride, the Harpoon Shop has something you won't find anywhere else.
and here's something special just for our listeners. You can save 25% off just by using our code INFOGO at checkout. You can find that link in the show notes. Welcome to the podcast. I'm William,
And I'm Kat.
and this is a dash of info.
Little things you want to know. Okay.
So Kat, have you ever heard the phrase, if it will, and if it won't, it won't?
Murphy's Law, of course.
Absolutely. Uh, so let's just dive right into it because this is a dash of info, right?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about Edward A. Murphy Jr. and the origins and how he came up with Murphy's Law.
That homespun phrase carries a tone of acceptance, almost a shrug at the machinery of life. It sounds like something a farmer might say while looking at storm clouds on the horizon, or a grandfather might mutter while tinkering with an old truck that refuses to start. Yet behind that simple sentiment stands one of the most famous adages of the modern age, Murphy's Law.
Traditionally phrased as anything that can go wrong will go wrong, Murphy's Law has become shorthand for the inevitability of mishaps. Traditionally phrased as anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and Murphy's Law has become shorthand for any mishaps. It is quoted in engineering labs, in military debriefings, in classrooms, and around kitchen tables. Well, it's a half warning, half joke, and almost entirely human.
Almost.
Almost entirely human. Because if it will happens in nature too.
True, true.
Have you ever been fishing or hunting?
I have been fishing, but I was like 6.
Okay, I got to take you on a field trip.
I would love to go fishing as an adult.
Okay.
Me, in case we're talking about it.
All right.
Northeast.
I'll take you. I'll take both of you. Not just you. I'll
Sounds
take both of you and your kids.
that sounds good because I think they would like it too, sort of. I have to just make sure Rain doesn't try to kill herself. I'm telling you, that kid is wild. Donnie from the Wild Thornberries almost.
Carbon copy.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway,
Anyway, so the story of Murphy's Law begins not in folklore, but in mid 20th century aerospace research. In 1949, at Edwards Air Force Base in California, engineer Edward A. Murphy Jr. was working on Project MX981, which tested human tolerance to high speed deceleration forces. During one experiment, strain gauges were installed incorrectly, rendering data useless. Frustrated, Murphy reportedly remarked that if there were any way to do something wrong, someone would.
the phrase was later brought to popularity by John Paul Stapp at a press conference rather. Stapp credited the project safety record, well, for anticipating every possible way something could fail. Murphy's Law, as he called it. Well, from there, the expression took on a life of its own. What began as a principle of engineering discipline, well, it evolved into a cultural proverb. And over time, it softened from a technical warning into into daily life.
Murphy's Law was never meant to be fatalistic. In fact, it was the opposite. In engineering, the principle encourages thoroughness. It insists that if a future mode exists, someone somewhere will eventually trigger it, especially if the system allows for it. Therefore, systems must be designed to prevent misuse, minimize error, and anticipate the improbable. The mindset gave birth to redundancies in aircraft systems, fail safes in nuclear reactors, and safety interlocks in industrial machinery. The law is not a prophecy, it's a preventative tool.
Yeah, so engineers, they learn to ask, what happens if this bolt, well, is loosened? What happens if the power supply fails? What happens if the operator misreads the instructions? What happens if someone installs this part backwards? Well, Murphy's Law demands humility. It assumes humans, well, they're imperfect. It reminds designers that clarity really matters, labels matter, instructions matter. And this way, Murphy's Law aligns closely with modern risk analysis and system engineering. It is a cousin to the Swiss cheese model, of failure to root cause analysis. Its wisdom lies in recognizing that complexity multiplies opportunity for error. So, if it will, it will.
If a design flaw exists, it will be discovered perhaps at the worst possible moment. And if it won't, it won't. If something is built robustly, thoughtfully, redundantly, it simply won't fail, even under stress. Beyond engineering, though, Murphy's Law resonates because it mirrors how humans experience life. We notice failures more than successes. We also dwell on failures more than successes, but that's for another episode.
I would agree with that. That is another episode.
You can drive safely for years without incident, but that one flat tire on a rainy night is the story you remember, or the one time you flattened a turtle and killed your car in the same go. You know, you can send
Personal
hundreds of.
experience there.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, you can send hundreds of emails without error, but the typo in the message to your boss lingers in your mind.
And I'll say, Kat, before we move on, I say we should take a small break. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, listen up. All of my workforce friends out there, whether you're ranchers, farmers, or you just need a pair of good leather gloves, look no further than Bare Knuckles. The best leather gloves ever made, featuring a patent design crafted for natural curve of the fingers. These gloves deliver a perfect fit, superior protection, and all-day comfort. Made from premium leather, right now get an exclusive 15% off, and you can find that at buybareknuckles.com, but make sure you use our code INFOGO at checkout. You can find that link in the show notes. Upgrade your hands, and remember, every purchase, well, it supports the show, so thank you.
If you love unforgettable treats, you've got to try Molly B's gourmet cookies. These aren't your average cookies. Molly B's brings bold, artisan crafted cookies straight to your pantry. We're talking chocolate, cherry, and amaretto and be cordial. Earl Grey, lavender, white chocolate, and lemon glaze in the tea. Even maple, bacon, whiskey, and white chocolate in the Boss Man. Founded by a single mom from Alaska, Molly Bees has become a national sensation. You get 10% off any product using our code INFOGO at mollybees.com. Find the link in the show notes.
Psychologists call this negativity bias. Sounds like a future episode.
Absolutely.
Our brains, well, they're involved to prioritize threats. If our ancestors ignored rustling in the bushes, well, they might be at risk to become, well, some other game's dinner. So it's better to assume danger. Well, Murphy's Law feels true because our intentions sharpen when things go wrong. So consider these familiar experiences, right? The toast falls butter side down. Every time it falls butter side down. The phone dies when you need it the most. Or if you're in the middle of a good game and you don't really want to give it up, the line you choose at the grocery store, well, it always becomes the slowest.
Statistically, these events are not inevitable, but emotionally, they feel that way. The law also taps into confirmation bias. Once we expect something to go wrong, we notice when it does and forget when it doesn't. I'm just glad when it doesn't.
I'm just glad when it doesn't either.
Yet there is something deeper at work than cognitive distortion. Murphy's Law reflects the structure of complex systems.
In simple systems, well, there's a few things that can go wrong. But in complex systems, there's countless things that can go wrong. So a hammer rarely falls. A smartphone contains thousands of components and millions of line code. The more parts, the more interactions, interactions, the more potential failure. Well, it just becomes more prominent, right?
Modern life is deeply interconnected. Supply chains stretch across continents, and electrical grids balance delicate loads. Financial markets react instantly to global events. In such systems, small errors cascade. A delayed shipment halts production. A software bug crashes a server. A minor leak floods a basement. Oof, that last one. Being a homeowner kind of sucks sometimes. Love that. Anyway, Murphy's Law becomes less cynical and more statistical. In a world with millions of moving parts, something somewhere is always malfunctioning. And if it will, it will. If there exists a weak link, pressure will eventually find it. And if it won't, it won't. If systems are resilient, if they bend rather than break, they survive stress.
So Murphy's Law really thrives in domestic settings because it appears in home improvement. The screw you drop disappears forever. So, and in travel, well, traffic's going to worsen when you are late every time.
You're going to hit every single red light and find that guy that wants to go 10 miles below the speed limit.
Not just 10 miles, the speed limit can be 50, and you're going to find the person that wants to drive 35.
Yes,
At least
every
it feels like
time.
that.
No, every time.
And,
And
and
my
it,
like my speedometer's off a little bit, okay?
yeah, every single time. But
And back to like the screw you drop, I'm sure there's a lot of mechanics out there missing that 10 millimeter.
But to your point, there is nothing worse than dropping that 10 or that 1916 or that half inch down in that block and you got to like fish that thing out, man.
Anywhere in the bay if it doesn't fall on the ground. If you don't hear it go clink clink on the ground, you're like, oh,
Oh, and it will show up later.
oh yeah.
Uh, but it appears in parenting and grandparenting alike, right? Because silence from your kids or grandkids, it rarely means something good.
Oh God, yeah. The too quiet thing. Unless you know exactly where they are.
Embedded in these moments is humor, because Murphy's Law often serves as emotional armor. By naming frustration, we reduce its sting. Instead of anger, we laugh because if it will, it will, and if it won't, it won't. So, in this way, the law functions like folklore, which is a shared story that kind of binds people through recognition.
Over time, Murphy's Law sprouted offspring. O'Toole's commentary was Murphy was an optimist. Sod's Law in Britain, similar spirit, different phrasing. And Finagle's Law, anything that can go wrong will, at the worst possible time.
I love that law because it does every time.
The worst possible thing could go wrong at the worst possible time.
Yeah. I think I'm going to start doing Finagle's Law. I'm going to be like, anything that can go wrong will at the worst possible time.
But yeah, all the time. There is also the law of selective gravity. The probability of dropping toast is proportional to the price of the carpet.
I guess if you have hardwood flooring, it really doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, I mean, you just have a dented piece of toast.
Well, yeah, true. And if you have grape jelly on like a beige type carpet,
Oh, I didn't think about like jelly being on the toast. That wasn't included in the description. Did it have to
well,
be jelly toast?
sure. But dandelion jelly, is kind of yellow, so it'd probably blend in.
I don't know if what it would stain. It probably would stain. You could use dandelion as a dye.
Oh my gosh, I ordered some dandelion jelly. It's really good.
I want to try it.
I'll see about getting you a jar or bringing you some or something.
Okay.
So while Murphy's Law anticipates failure, Stoic law embraces the inevitability. Ancient Stoics advise preparing mentally for adversity by imagining setbacks in advance. One becomes less rattled when they occur. So Murphy's Law and Stoicism share a principle: assume imperfection. But Stoicism adds another layer: focus only on what you can control. You cannot control whether it rains or if the sun's going to shine if you didn't carry an umbrella. If it will, it will. If circumstances lie beyond your power, they unfold as they must. So if it won't, it won't. And if something lies within your control, disciplined action prevents disaster.
In this sense, Murphy's Law becomes practical wisdom rather than pessimism. Critics argue that Murphy's Law encourages negativity. Expecting failure, they say, breeds anxiety. I don't know. I disagreed. I think certain levels of anxiety are healthy for an individual to stay safe.
Well, I kind of like the stoicism. Like you're going to prepare for what may happen, so you prepare for that. But I mean, then again, there's always going to be that next level too,
Hmm.
because we're
Can't let
all
it fall
human.
into paranoia. Okay.
Yeah, because we're all human. We're going to make mistakes. You're going to forget your flashlight. You're going to forget you laid that bolt right on top of the block, to fall into the crankshaft there. Uh,
Accidentally burn your hand on the cookie sheet or slam your hand in the door. I did those on Saturday.
oh, wow, I'm sorry.
Sunday. Well, look, I have one of those swinging doors, and I don't know what possessed me to like grab it and try to pull it through the doorway to like open it the other way, but I did. I grabbed right onto it and slammed my hand into the door jamb.
Ooh, that sounds like it hurts.
It went bam, and I said, "Wow, that was dumb." That was the
Mm.
first words out of my mouth. Oh, that was dumb. Murphy's Law feels mystical, but probability offers clarity. Given enough time, rare events become likely. Flip a coin once, and heads may not appear. Flip it 1,000 times, and long streaks emerge. Similarly, if you perform a task daily for years, eventually something will deviate. Airplanes seem miraculous, not because they never fail, but because safeguards reduce failure to astonishing rarity. When accidents do occur, investigations often reveal small oversights compounded. Probability teaches humility. Even low odds, multiplied by repetition, approach certainty. If it will, it will. If the probability is greater than zero and trials continue indefinitely, occurrence becomes inevitable. And if it won't, it won't. If the probability is truly zero, if safeguards eliminate possibility, failure disappears.
Leaders, well, they ignore Murphy's Law at their peril. Organizations that assume nothing will go wrong often face scandal, breakdowns, or crisis. Wise leaders, well, they ask the uncomfortable questions. What could derail this plan? Where are we most vulnerable at? Who might misinterpret this policy? And you, the listener, might not always understand what I'm trying to say because I don't know how to speak clear English. I speak Southern.
Kindergarten.
Oh
What's
my
that other
gosh,
one you don't say right?
you're gonna pick on me now?
Pick on you? I'm going to peek on you.
Oh, pick on me for going to kindergarten in the library?
Yes, library, that's what it is.
Okay. So disaster planning exists because of Mercy's law.
Mercy's Law.
Disaster planning, well, it exists because of Murphy's Law, fire drills, emergency funds, backup servers, succession plans. In business, overconfidence, well, it really adds to the business's weakness. In government, complacency, risk, well, catastrophe. In families, neglecting preparation creates stress. So Murphy's Law, properly understood, is a call to diligence.
There is irony in Murphy's Law. We do strive for control in an uncontrollable world. Machines rust, bodies age, plans shift. Sometimes, if it will, means accepting reality. A storm cancels the picnic, an illness delays the trip, an opportunity passes. Resisting the inevitable breeds frustration. Accepting it brings peace. And if it won't, it won't. Some doors simply do not open. No amount of pushing changes that. You just have to find a different door.
Yeah.
Here, here, Murphy's Law merges with surrender, not defeat, but recognition of limits.
All right. So, why has Murphy's Law endured? Because it makes us laugh. And laughter, well, it disarms fear. When the power flickering during a thunderstorm, someone is going to say, that's Murphy's Law. And it really transforms the chaos into a narrative. It reminds us that frustration, well, it's universal. Shared humor strengthens families, teams, and communities. It binds generations. Grandparents pass the saying to grandchildren, not as doctrine, but as, like that little nudge, that little wink, And life's mishaps, well, you can expect it, but smile anyway.
Grandparents with a little
If it
cheeky
will, it
grin.
will. Yeah, if it will, it will, and if it won't, it won't.
Hmm.
But what was the other one? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
At the worst possible time.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the one I'm going to start saying.
I
If it
think I'll
can,
stick with Murphy's Law because I would like to just try to be able to flow. But you know that I'm still really, truly, it's going to go wrong at the worst possible time. And try to
abs-
ignore that. That voice has to just be quiet because she likes to talk too much.
absolutely okay.
At its heart, though, Murphy's Law is neither prophecy nor curse, if you say so. It's observation, sure. Life is imperfect. Humans err, systems fail, weathers shift, time erodes, yet resilience grows. And if it will, it will. If hardship comes, it comes, and if it won't, it won't. If preparation holds, disaster dissolves before it begins. The phrase becomes less about doom and more about balance. Between caution and courage, vigilance and humor control them and surrender.
So, Kat, if it will, it will, and if it won't, it won't.
The magic of Murphy's Law. I mean, probability.
So, if you would like to support this podcast, tell a friend and help get the word out. Oh, wait, is that how we say that?
Yeah, but are you going to keep taking my line? Are you going to keep doing this backwards?
All right, I'll let you go. You do it. So, Kat, if it will, and if it won't, it won't. But I think I'm going to go with the one. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong at the worst possible time, because that's what it feels like.
Yes.
But I think I shall stick with Murphy's Law and prepare for if it will, and if it won't, it won't.
Yes. Yes. Try to be like the river and flow. Okay. You can't just be the rock that sits at the bottom.
The river and flow. I don't think I've ever heard that.
What?
Yeah, I
You
don't
know,
think I've ever heard that.
I think you need to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar the Last. Is that the cartoon?
Yes.
Okay, I'll look into that. I
It's
don't watch a lot of
cute
TV.
and
I watch a.
adorable, but I highly recommend it. I don't know. I mean, The Legend of Korra is all right, but I
I
grew up with the first one, and that's my favorite. So,
I watch a lot
also.
of documentaries and sciencey stuff. I don't know.
Mine is a very broad spectrum of that too. And we do that for the kids as well. We put on usually lately it's been the National Geographic or something about animals elsewhere in the morning when we're getting ready for school.
But I tell you, the one thing I do love that is like reality TV is the show Alone. I love that show.
I don't know that one.
Oh my gosh, it's a History Channel based show. You should look it up. I think they have 11 seasons, but basically they drop 10 people off. You get 10 items to select that you take with you to survive. They don't tell you where you're gonna be. I think the one that I'm on right now, they're in the Arctic Circle, and I know, yeah, I'm a little dated. It's amazing because they have to survive on these 10 items they take, and after time goes on, people start to kind of tap out until
Hmm.
there's usually one person left. I want to say the average time that somebody survives on a lawn without tapping out is 72 days.
Wow.
So yeah, you should check it
That's
out. I think you would like it.
2 months and a few days. Jeez.
But you are alone. There is no one there for you.
Hey.
You got to feed yourself. You don't take any food or anything like that. You
So it's
got to
like Bear
survive.
Grylls meets Naked and Afraid.
Anyway, let's wrap this freaking thing up.
If you would like to support this podcast, tell a friend and help get the word out.
If you would like to help us keep the show going, you got a couple of ways you can do that. One, check out our sponsors, or you can go to Patreon. You can find all of those links in the show notes.
William and I want to thank you for listening.
Whether you've been with us from day one or you just tuned in, Kat and I do truly thank you because you are what keeps us going.
Absolutely. Well, you can join the Facebook group at Info on the Go.
Oh, I did that.
Share with us your show ideas.
Or just simply ask us a question.
Follow us wherever you get your podcast.
What really makes this so bad is it's scripted.
It's colored and everything. Keep going. Go ahead.
You can send us a text using the link in the show notes or leave a review, and that review really does help others find us.
You can also email us at infoonthegopodcast@gmail.com.
Hey, you can find that link in the show notes. Till next time.
Stay curious.
Every morning starts with a choice. Don't settle for just coffee. Rise up with strong coffee. Meet the world's strongest cup of joe. Strong isn't just a drink, it's a movement. And strong stands for striving to reach our natural greatness.
Born from one simple need to be better. They rebuilt coffee from the ground up, infusing organic coffee with collagen, protein, nootropics, and functional ingredients that fuel your body and sharpen your mind. There's no crash, no compromises, just clean energy, focus, and flavor that fires you up.
Whether you're chasing kids, chasing goals, or chasing greatness, don't just wake up, rise up. Strong coffee, the world's strongest cup of joe, for a world ready to be better.
Use code INFOGO at checkout to save 15%.